all that. Yeah, but really, I just got this dough in my pocket. These hoes that be jocking, this weight on my shoulder, all these clothes in my closet. B12 bitches, beautiful women. This life is a blast, nigga. When you the one winning, liquor my kidney, yak when I'm sipping, black Escalade with all of my niggas. Calls from them princes, from careless decisions, trying to upgrade your living, trying to spin off your pivot. I relate though, my nigga, so I shoot.
Welcome back, my PBM family. Welcome back. Another episode of Old School Cops presented by PBM. We got the two-man unit tonight. As always, you send in the videos, we give you your assessment. Now, this video was sent in to me. I don't know what you want us to assess, but we're going to do an assessment on this particular video. So, because whatever y'all send in, good, bad, ugly, we're going to give the assessment. My partner tonight is definitely a veteran of the police, of law enforcement. He started out in one of the largest jails in New York, well, in the country, the largest jail in the country, Rikers Island. He started out as a correction officer. He did a few years there, and he became a police officer. As a police officer, he did outstanding police work. He's from the community. He knows the people. He knows police work. He became a detective. He did some sergeant work. His specialty was youth violence and addiction. He investigated a lot of gangs, especially when it comes down to juveniles. So he knows the streets. He knows policing. So tonight you got a two-man unit filled with a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge about the streets and the people in the community. This particular video, it just seems like, I guess the person who sent it wanted to know, like, is this kind of how it should be, or this is kind of far-fetched? For me, I went into the academy in shape. I was always an athlete coming up. So when I went in, the academy ain't do nothing but enhance the abilities that I already had. I would share a little story from you, right? Real quick, right? For me, I was always the fastest person in my patrol when I was in patrol. And when I went into specialized units, I was always the fastest one. In any environment that I was in, I was always the fastest one. So I didn't lose foot pursuits. People just was not fast to me. And when you don't lose foot pursuits and you've been in as many as I have been in, you kind of have a little arrogance and cockiness to when they come down to foot pursuits, right? So I had this one time, right, where this guy we was on detail. People kept breaking in the parking meters. They kept breaking the parking meters and they kept hitting it. So the captain asked our unit to sit on it and see if we can catch the person. We sitting on it. What do we see? Person breaking in change. They putting change in their pockets, this and that. So I get out and I start walking towards the dude. The dude looked at me. He turned around with full quarters all in his pockets. He just darted. And this is downtown district area. So it's people shopping and I'm chasing them. Change is falling out. Ching. Now, if you know anything about foot pursuits, right? If you're a guy who can run as an officer, you're kind of a little bit of cockiness and arrogant. You start yelling to the person, "Oh, that's it. You slowing down. You can't run." You're talking all type of crap. Because I've done that before, right? And so we're in the third block at a high intensity of running. Like we are full throttle. The gear shift is all the way down, and we just running. And normally, right, 3 blocks in, you normally see somebody starts to downshift because running extremely fast, that hard, adrenaline flying, trying to get away from the police. You can hold that. You can, because the average person is not a track star. You know, you smoking weed, drinking 40s, like you're just normally not a track star in that type of environment. So we're in the third block and he's still at full speed. I'm at full speed and I'm still talking trash. We get into the 4th block. Yo, he's still at full capacity. Yeah. I started downshifting. I stopped talking shit. I was like, no, I can't believe it. I never lost a foot pursuit before. Yo, he started pulling away. I got on my radio and started calling it in. I was like, give him directions. He got to the 5th block. I see like a little dot. Like he was so far in front of me. I just got on the radio, said, "Radio, you jumped in the car." Eunice was like, "What kind of car he got in?" I was like, "I don't know." The dude smoked. Yo, we was in the 5th block. Yo, he might have been in the 7th, 8th block. He just kept going and going. I was downshifting at like in the 4th block. He smoked me. I was dusted. My feelings were so hurt, right? I went back the next day and I started working. Each precinct had a gym. You can get a treadmill, you can lift weights. I started running in my uniform. You see what this cop was doing here in this video? Full uniform. Because normally you work out, you don't work out in full gear, right? You jogging, you working out. You don't have your police belt, you don't have your vest, you don't have none of this on. So when you compare, you adding about maybe 40 to 60 pounds of more weight outside of when you just normally working out when you're in uniform. So I'm like, I'm gonna start working out in uniform. So I come with 2 pairs, and I was working out for an hour. My feelings was hurt. My mind was like, yo, I'm gonna catch this dude. And I did, I no lie, I did this like for a month. I got on a treadmill and I just was burning it up. And I started hitting the streets, started trying to, cut deals to see who I could get, because it was even downtown, but it was like 2 blocks away from his projects, and that's where he ran towards. So I had an idea where he was going. So I started, trying to cut deals with people who wanted to deal themselves out of jail on some minor offenses to tell me who it was. Found out who it was, set up on him, and then I seen him coming out the house. I was doing the surveillance. I seen him coming out the building, and I walked up to him. I already knew who he was. I had his name. I said, "Yo, Eddie, remember me?" He looked. I said, "Yo, we got to do that again, bro, because that hurt my feelings." He said, "Yo, I smoked you once. I can do it again." I said, "Go ahead." I said, "Yo, let me get the legal stuff out the way. Police, I have a warrant for your arrest. Turn around, put your hands behind your back. Now, if you go run, now go ahead." He darted. I started chasing him. I was in this for the long haul. I just knew that we was going to be. He turned up a block. The block that he turned up, it was like a dead end. It had a real high gate. He went to start climbing the gate. I just came, clotheslined him, brought him to the ground, cuffed him, and it was over. That might have been in the 2-block, 3-block radius. So I really didn't get a chance to really shift all the way up to see if all the training I did in my uniform actually paid off. So I did lose that pursuit to him prior, but I came back second round and won. I don't know if we're going to say, look, if he didn't run into that gate, whether it would have ended up a little different. I did want to see, because it really did hurt my feelings. I never lost a foot pursuit. But that's my take on this particular video when we start talking about, do guys really do this? I know I did it. I've never seen a guy in the precinct or any type of gym with full uniform on working out. I've never seen that. But yes, I've done that, and that was the situation I done it with. Detective, Sergeant, tell me, what do you think about the video? If you got any similar stories, share with the audience. But this is really cut and dry. Do officers really train like this? That's pretty much what the question was.
Officers do not train like that. I remember when I first started in policing, I was 23 years old. So I'm young and I'm energetic. And I remember I got into it was a pursuit. It was an auto pursuit, right? And I remember because I got the tapes back from when I called the pursuit to when I made the apprehension. Believe it or not, I called the pursuit in, I bailed out of the vehicle, chased the individual, and when I caught him, the time of the pursuit, or I should say the time of the apprehension, was the same time that I called in the pursuit. It was within that 1 minute, right? Now remember, this I'm young. I'm young. This guy, like you referred to earlier, Joe, he's drinking, he's not taking care of his body, he's getting high, drugs, whatever it is. And that's how much I was on point, right? So now here it is years later, right? And I become a detective, and one of the old school detectives told me this. He said, "I want you to remember this. Remember, you're getting older, but the criminals / suspects, they don't, right? Because there's always a new generation that's out doing the and you're chasing that crime. You're chasing that criminal, right?
Yeah.
How about it's one day, it's at night, and we get into a foot pursuit because we respond. Me and another detective. We're setting up at night. We respond to a alarm call. We get there. It's actually a burglary in progress. Yo, this guy smoked me. Yo, he disappeared in the night. I called in units. He went that way. They sent the dogs in. The guy just disappeared. He disappeared. And I realized at that point, I realized I know I'm getting older.
Did you try to chase him?
Right? I for a few steps until he disappeared in the night and he was gone, right? Right. And I was like, wow, it is a difference, right? So now you're talking about sometime later, right? There was an older detective that's an old guy. He's older than me. And he made a traffic stop, right? When he made a traffic stop, the guy, it was an intended target. The guy had a warrant on file. And he called it in and he said, the individual has a warrant. By the time we got there, he exited his vehicle and he was trying to approach the vehicle. He was huffing and puffing just to get to the guy. And we ran up to the guy. We ran up and we actually made the apprehension. And I was like, yo, you really got to stay in fit. Yeah. And as you get older, you really, really have to really be in tune to your body. But that individual, there's no training, because once you get out of the academy, that's it. It's all on you to stay physically fit. And I know you see a lot of officers who's overweight, and you see them huffing and puffing and look like their belts can't fit around them.
Yeah. No,
it's not a reality. It really isn't.
Nah, it's a demanding physical job, yo. And I believe, like, I strongly believe that it should definitely be like a physical fitness yearly. Officers should be required to maintain their physical fitness. You definitely should be required, because you got to run, you got to put hands on. You can't not be physically fit, because what happens is when you're not physically fit, you're quick to use your gun because you can't compete on a hands-on level. So you need to hurry up quickly and overmatch the aggression or fight the person's giving you. And the only way you could do it is with a gun, because physically you can't.
I agree. And as you get older, it's normal that you can't sustain the same energy and physical ability that you have when you're younger. And like that detective told me, the criminals, they don't get older, but you do. And you're chasing these young guys, who are, you just can't do it. So there has to be an age limit. You have to cut it off.
Yeah.
You have to cut it off.
Just think about it. You was 23, right? When you had that pursuit, right? I was 21, 22. We're pretty, when you match up a 21-year-old with a 17 or 18-year-old, you pretty much can hang at that level if you're in shape.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now you fast forward your time on the job. Now you're 35, you're 40, and now there's still the same 17, not the same person, but the same age group is still committing that crime. And now you at 40 years old, you're trying to match a 17, 18-year-old physical, like that's extremely hard to do, especially if you're not maintaining your physical fitness at that time. You got to figure out, if you've been on a job that long, you got court, you got the overtime. There's so much imbalance to where you don't get a quality of life to maintain your physical fitness that, yes, it becomes lopsided, and you could see where you can get hurt. You can get hurt really bad at that time, at that stage in your career.
Absolutely. And I mean, when that happened, I was probably 30-ish, close to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and this guy is, again, 17.
A big difference.
I'm double his age.
Yeah.
Right? Now, let me just give you a fun example. I remember when I first started playing softball, this is the all police team. right?
Right.
Here I am in my early 20s. I could go out. This is an all police team. We can go out and we can start throwing the ball and exercising and practicing, getting ready, warming up. The guys in their early 20s are doing this, right? The guys who are in their 40s, mid 40s, you know what they're doing? They're putting on Bengay and stretching. We used to make fun of those guys. What are you guys doing? Right? And you know what? By the time I got to that age, that stage, here I am.
Stretching.
Well, here I was. I was putting on Bengay and stretching. Right now, I'm closing in on 60. So, a lot of guys, and it's funny because a lot of the guys I talk to at my age now, we can't even play in competitive sports anymore because you're at a certain level.
Yeah.
Don't laugh at me, Joe. Don't laugh at me because I can't compete.
I'm in my 50s. I get it. I get it.
And I can't compete. I can't
It's
compete.
a different level, bro.
Yes. I remember the last time I was down there with you guys, or maybe the last time prior, and we all went bowling. When we finished, you know how sore and how much in pain I was.
I remember you telling me that you was ready to go to the hospital.
Oh, yes.
Pulled something you just sore from bowling. Yeah.
I was, yes. That's why old people don't bowl. The word is out. Spread the word. Old people do not bowl, and those are the reasons.
You heard it, my PBM family. You heard it. Okay. No, they don't normally. You don't normally see them working out like that, but you got some dudes that do, just like you seen that dude. I've done it. So that's not the norm. So whoever sent the video in, I hope I answered the question. Like I always say, if you got any problems with the police, man, take it to the courtroom because they'll have the home court advantage on the side of the road, and you will either get badly beat down or get killed, and you leave your family to fight for justice. Take your L by being quiet. If you got to take the arrest, take it. Your day in court is where you get a chance to clap back. That's where the stage gets a little even. And so I've seen it. I've seen officers think they are big and bad on the street, and then once you get in that courtroom and the judge is the attorney is cross-examining and they doing their job, officer kind of looks stupid, and next thing you know, officer's in trouble, he's suspended, he's fired, terminated, in some cases even arrested. So take it to the courtroom, be safe, make it home to your family. See you next video.